Hello, everyone. Today is 12/9, December 9th, 2018. I'm about to cry because I've got some things on my mind and want to talk about them. I'm beginning to. Oh, there's the sun. Oh, man, I am such a sun child. Winter is really rough on me. I need the sun in my life. Um, so, a couple things I want to just talk about, and you'll see. Now, my emotions are coming down, so that's good. But I wanted to just comment and remind myself somewhat, and maybe some folks in our community, that something they probably already know. So it's probably going to be another well duh moment. But there are times that I forget that people come in all shapes and sizes. And I think before I've even said all different kinds of voices. I know that I've said that before. Um, there's no one size fits all. There's no one. I mean, maybe we could say there's an ideal, but in reality, there is a spectrum of people. And we know this, but I know for myself, I know it, but I forget it. And I can become somewhat, not necessarily envious, but jealous somewhat. And I think that is a human reaction. Ooh, I'm calming down now. Maybe this was the right thing to do, make a video. But I just want to share a quick story. Um, you know, Yesterday I had the opportunity, we had a little bit of a Christmas party gathering at our D&D game. And normally, I felt like I wanted to up the ante a little bit, make a little bit of an occasion of it. I wore a nice blouse, a nice top, and was a gypsy skirt, and I was even going to wear knee high, thigh high, knee highs, and a nice pair of shoes, women's shoes, not high heels or anything, but Mary Jane's. I ended up wearing sneakers because I wanted to be comfortable, but I wanted to make the occasion of it, and so um, you know, I did a little more makeup than I don't normally do, and there's probably uh, a little bit of leftovers on me. But anyway, the short of it, or maybe the long of it, is I wanted to make something. Oh, there's the sun again. I wanted to make something special about it, and so that's kind of what I did. Okay, so at our game, there's three women. I'm one, and I don't want to. I'm not making fun of anybody. Okay, this is maybe I'm making fun of myself, but I'm allowed to do that. Um, so we had one person who, you know, no makeup. Both of them didn't wear makeup. Okay. Um, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, geez, I am a little overdressed and I am a little overmade. Okay. Again, I had like nice eyebrows were really good. My makeup was really good last night too. But I'm sitting there going, okay, am I the odd girl out because I'm dressed up a little bit and makeup a little bit? And I looked over at one of the other girls that were there, one of the other women, who was very, very skinny, an A-frame, I guess, really kind of petite, I guess would be the way to go. And there were traits of her that I liked, and I wanted for myself somewhat. And then the other woman that was there again, dressed a little differently. Her body's a little, I wish I had her breasts. I'll be honest with you. Um, but again, and then there's me, who a little bit bigger. My body size is very different, and probably I can assume they might have been looking at my hair. My hair is very thick, okay, or maybe my eyelashes. I mean, there are things that, and I don't want to necessarily just say women, but I think people, there are things that we like to see or we want that other people have, and it's not. I think is if we can talk about it, it's not necessarily jealousy or envy, but it's the realization of, oh geez, yeah, I wish my breasts were a little bigger, or I wish I was a little more skinnier. But I could put myself in the other person's shoes and say, across the table and saying, geez, their breasts weren't as big as mine. And mine are not very big, but again, women and again, people come in all different shapes and sizes. So hopefully I can remember that for the future when I feel a little down, like I'm not feminine enough, I'm not woman enough, I'm not, again, that bullshit that goes on in our heads. So again, just something to think about, and more so to remind myself in the future that, hey, remember on this date you realized blah 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 blah. Because I do watch these videos back when I dilate or when I walk on the treadmill and whatnot. So it's a bit of reinforcement for me down the road. We touched a little bit too the other day about happiness, and in some ways I feel like I'm making some realizations, some post-surgical realizations that you probably would again say, well, duh, that, Robin, it's common sense. But it's almost like it's really poignant to me about life and about what happiness is, and what are we seeking, what do we want, how do we achieve it. And again, I'm at the point now where it's like I'm facing my fears. I'm facing my fears. What would be the other thing I would say? I'm facing my fears. But I'm tired of being afraid. I'm tired of being unhappy, but also just afraid. And that's the weirdest thing in the world, is afraid. I am afraid, my friends. I'm afraid. Whether it be my job or the future, things we have no control over, and I think, could I make a gross generalization that as women, we have those fears. And I mean, people in general, it doesn't have to be a woman thing. People in general have fears about the future. I'm not necessarily sure this is transgender related. It's not necessarily local to being transgender, although I am one trans at middle age. That's the name of the channel. And I'm post-op, and I'm trying to deal with some things that maybe you might encounter in your own transition. So that's why I share this too. It's therapeutic for me, but it's a way of feeling that might help someone else on their own journey, even though your mileage may vary. That's almost becomes trite after a while. But it's true. Your mileage may vary. You maybe have a very different experience than I do. And yet, we're in this boat together, right? We're in this journey together. Today is another, thank goodness today is another support group meeting, because I need to go. Last couple times I've cried every time. And maybe I need that. So, but on that note, I can't think of anything else. And I think I made touchstone on this too the other day, that I've been trying to think about what I used to do. What did I used to do for fun? How did I used to spend my time? And a year ago, I had almost lost the weight that I needed to, that I have since gained back to have surgery. But at the time we were living in the house, we've moved since then. We're in a duplex now. And so much of my run time was taking care of the house, repairs, maintenance, gardening, lawn care, whatnot. And we just don't have that this year. And so there's a lot of free time. And that's what I'm trying to grasp onto, is that free time. What do I want to do now? What do I want to do that's fun? And that's been a bit of a challenge, because I'm like, well, I don't remember what I used to do. And there's been a number of times I sit down and I'm like, the other day I sat down to play Lego Superheroes 2, and I just sat here and I said, this is kind of repetitive and boring, you know. So what other new things can we do, etc., etc. So, all right, well, that's my time. So I'm gonna just sign off and just thank you. I wish everyone the best of luck in becoming their authentic self. I wish everyone, uh, God, I can't imagine going through this alone. I'm thankful that I have the support group in town that meets every week or every other week, and that's definitely been a lifesaver, a life changer. Community and whatnot. So, all right, my friends, I'm gonna cry again. I think I need a good cry. So, I'm gonna sign off. But I wish you all the best of luck. I love you, and I just wish everyone happiness, and me too. I mean, don't think I feel like I'm on some mountain, or ivory tower dispensing happiness. I need it too. You know, we all need it. We all need it. And someone had said, I think it was Addison in the support group meeting a couple weeks ago, and I guess I can share this. It's not personal, but by communicating and expressing our feelings, we find out that we're not alone. And that has been a huge calm my heart down. We are experiencing, as part of this journey, stress. Goes without saying, I guess. But all right, till next time. Good luck.